3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The biggest names in music.
Oh, wow.
Big names, big songs, big guests, big prizes.
Well, it's a big show.
The Big Show.
Put your hands together for the one and only
Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean.
That's what I'm talking about.
1FM 91.3. Good times, greatest hits.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the only show here in Singapore that comes to you on the radio as well as on TV. The Big Show TV, which is our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3. Now, our first guest for this morning is from Dementia Singapore. She is a psychologist there. She is Bridget Go. Good morning, Bridget.
Good morning, everyone.
Now,
Good morning.
Just to tell everyone a little bit more about Dementia Singapore, for those of you who are tuning in for the very first time, Dementia Singapore is formerly known as the Alzheimer's Disease Association, all right? And Dementia Singapore is Singapore's leading social service agency, specializing in dementia care, caregiver support, training, consultancy, and advocacy. And of course, together with Dementia Singapore here at 1FM 91.3, we are also striving towards a dementia inclusive society. So once again, welcome to the show, Bridget.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Bridget, and waking up so early. As Glenn mentioned, you are a psychologist by training and you are from the care services at DSG. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role at DSG and who you normally interact with?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a psychologist in the care service department, specifically in the post-diagnostic support team. So what is that? That's basically our pilot project funded by the Lian Foundation, which provides 1 year post-diagnostic support for those who are newly diagnosed with dementia and their caregivers. So unlike a lot of other services which are more reactive, where there's a problem, people come in and there's intervention done, we identify current and future needs of the persons with dementia and their caregivers before coming up with an individualized care plan. So we are more preemptive than a reactive kind of service. And we provide, psychoeducation and the social emotional support for those living with dementia and their caregivers as well.
Yeah, this is fantastic because, it must be so hard, right?
Well, I think it probably is, Bridget. We've talked about this many times with people who've come on and spoken to us about Dementia Singapore, the caregivers. What are some of the effects that caregivers can actually bring about? There has to be positive and negative.
Yes, definitely. So caregiving is usually a role that people find themselves just thrown into. And I don't think I can ever overstate that it is very challenging to adapt to all these changes coming at you, not only for your loved one, but for yourself as well, because these changes, can be manifested into lifestyle changes. Some days are easier and some days not so much. So in saying that, everyone's journey is different, but from what we have seen is that dementia has a way of forcing people to spend time together, be it good or bad. And sometimes this creates new meaning to relationships. And a lot of the work that we do is life history work. So it's just a fancy way of saying we get to know the person a lot better. And that is delving into, their past lives, their past significant life events, stories, things that make them who they are. What are the events and experiences that shape them to become who they are today? And in that way, it's also an invitation to get to know, their loved ones much better. And caregivers sometimes realize that, with all this new information that's coming in, they have a much more interesting relationship coming out of it as well. But of course, there are, challenges ahead. And a lot of what we see is the physical and the emotional strain in caregivers. And a big one is guilt.
Oh.
We usually get a lot of caregivers asking, am I doing enough? Should I be doing more? Am I not a good enough caregiver? And all these questions create a lot of stress. And stress is good in some sense because, it pushes us to adapt to long-term changes. But the thing is that prolonged long-term stress can lead to health concerns as well. So we always like to say that caregiving is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and there are many, many moving parts. And for the most part, you're going to have to finish the race on your own.
Right.
But there are also supporters along the way. You know, when you run a marathon, there's people giving out water, there's the road marshals, you have the first aiders, and lastly, but most importantly, you have your friends and your family on the side cheering you on. And in this way, that's how a caregiving journey looks like.
Yeah.
And with Dementia Singapore and other dementia support services, you know, hopefully people feel less alone.
Right.
Wow.
And I think, that's why you guys are doing such a fantastic job, because that's exactly what caregivers need, support. Because without that, I think a lot of them will just crumble. Because as I mentioned earlier on, it is so very, very hard to find out that a family member, has dementia. We are speaking to psychologist Bridget Goh from Dementia Singapore right here on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Up next, Debaj. Here's Rhythm of the Night on 1FM 91.3. Go ahead, Angel.
So, Bridget, Glenn earlier mentioned that what caregivers in his mind would need the most is support from family and friends and all that. But in your experience, what do you think, besides that support, what is the one thing that caregivers need in Singapore?
Well, from currently and with the COVID situation, it's to meet the demand for such dementia services. So it's good more and more people are seeking support. And this might be in respite services such as dementia daycares, but there's also a huge waiting list to access these services. And it's time that some caregivers do not have. And ideally, we would like, when somebody wants these services, they can access it as soon as possible and not be waiting and still struggling with a situation. Because a lot of people, it's only when they're overwhelmed that they search or they look for services, and then to be told, I'm sorry, there's no place right now. Can you please wait? It can be very, heartbreaking.
How long is the wait list for something like that?
It depends. It can be 1, 2 months, 2, 3 months. It really depends on the location and region in Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Bridget, what are some of the common caregiving challenges that you see in your line of work?
A lot of caregivers feel isolated. They feel like they are the only one who understands the situation. A lot of caregivers let us know, when they tell their friends, about the challenges that they're facing, friends who are not caregivers themselves, they get brushed off sometimes, or they don't get the validation that they need. So they tend to feel quite isolated in that sense. And burnout is a really, really a big one, because they're always firefighting, problem solving, and they don't have time or they don't make time for themselves. And the last one is grief, actually. So grief, we think of it as something that happens when there is a death. But it often begins, when there is a loss, when a loss arrives, or when one becomes aware of a likelihood of a loss. And it's natural that people start to grieve. And for dementia, it's interesting because there's this kind of ambiguous loss. And it's challenging because there's a lack of validation from the external or outside world, because the person who's caring for the person with dementia sees this person every single day. There's differences, there are changes, but for someone who doesn't live with them, they might say, you're just, it's fine, it looks fine, they seem fine, but only the caregiver truly understands. And they're trapped between, the reality of their own experience and other people saying, but it seems okay.
Yeah, but they don't understand, how terrible it is going through day in, day out, and the person just needs to be very strong. I'm just going to ask you this question, and I don't mean to be insensitive when I say this, but you've come across many caregivers and all that. Have any of them come to you and gone like, I'm sick and tired of this. I just want all this to end right now?
Yes, it's a very, very natural feeling, because when you're overwhelmed, you want it all to disappear. You wish you could run away, but for almost all caregivers, there's no option to just, I'm going to drop everything, I'm going to go on a holiday, I'm going to take off. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of guilt behind that, even if they were to make time for themselves, maybe go on a staycation, because then they have to think about who else is going to provide care to the level and standard that I provide care. And sometimes it's that control, that want to do so much for your loved one that they neglect themselves. But it is a common feeling, and I think it's something that a lot of caregivers feel shame in admitting, but it's a very natural part of caregiving as well. You are going to feel frustrated. Caregivers, and nobody is the same. We don't have, patience that lasts forever. We're going to get angry. We're going to shout. We're going to get irritated, and that's okay. Everybody's trying their best, and that's all anyone can ask for.
So that's quite interesting that whole "I want to give up, I've had enough" is a sign of burnout. What other signs of burnout have you seen, and how can caregivers actually get release from this stress that they go through?
So with burnout, you might feel, that you are stuck. You might feel a loss of motivation to do things that you used to do that bring you joy. You might notice that your sleep gets affected, your eating patterns get affected, you're constantly feeling exhausted physically, emotionally, more irritable. And if, let's say, there's prolonged feelings of such, then like what Glenn pointed out, they might feel like I want to hurt myself or I want to hurt, the person that I'm caring for. And if you do feel these, signs for an extended period of time, do seek help. See if there's respite that can be provided to you, or you can even seek, if let's say, a listening ear, be it friends or family. Yeah.
Are there other ways to relieve this stress? I mean, because as you said, we can't go on a staycation. We can't leave them because then guilt plays. So how do we then relax as caregivers?
See a psychologist, right? Yeah, I think that'll help, right?
Yeah, seeing a psychologist, seeing a counselor as well. All these things can help to help the person process the emotions that they're feeling, and ultimately maybe be able to let go of some of the caregiving duties, so that even if it's maybe getting another sibling or a friend to come in to accompany their loved one to eat. 1 hour, 5 minutes, any personal time for themselves is a win. It doesn't have to be a whole day kind of thing or a few days where they get respite, but just inserting pockets here and there.
To lighten the load, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Bridget, I mean, I personally have not encountered anyone in my sort of family circle that has dementia or Alzheimer's, but we have spoken to a few people who have because of Dementia Singapore, like Alison, who had has early onset dementia, and Muna, who's living with a mom who has dementia as well. But as non-caregivers and as members of the public, how can we, help with other caregivers?
Definitely practice patience and understanding if somebody's a caregiver, because everyone's problems, they're unique, they're valid. And if someone is telling you about their experiences or they're venting to you, chances are they're not looking for advice or for you to problem solve for them, but to listen and validate. And usually if you're not sure, it's always good to err on the side of validation and listening instead of giving advice. And if you know them personally, you can help to ease the load by maybe just visiting them at home, taking them out for a meal or bringing a meal to them. These kinds of things, just to show that, I'm here. If you need, I'm here to support. I can't, change the situation that you're in, but maybe I can make it a bit more bearable, make it a bit more fun. And to reduce the stigmatized language as well, because language and words can hurt. And a lot of times, you hear people say that people living with dementia, they are crazy or they are demented, and all this can also hurt the caregiver because, they're caring for someone who is their loved one, and to hear these kinds of words thrown about it is very hurtful, not just for the person living with dementia, but for their caregivers as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, we're going back on air. Bridget, I'm going to ask you that question once again for the benefit of people who are just tuned into the radio about what are some of the common caregiving challenges, okay? Daughtry, waiting for Superman right here on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is psychologist Bridget Goh from Dementia Singapore. Good morning once again, Bridget. Thank you so much for taking time off to join us this morning. My next question to you is, what are some of the common caregiving challenges that you see in your line of work?
So definitely it's the feeling of isolation that caregivers have. Then they don't realize that there is a whole community out there, of other caregivers. And it is the constant need to firefight, to problem solve. And therefore this leads to burnout because they're not able to find the time or make time for themselves. And another big one is actually grief that maybe not a lot of caregivers realize that they are going through. Because we usually think of grief, coming with a death, but it can happen with any kind of loss. So once, caregivers start to realize that, okay, one day this person might not recognize me. It is, the loss is on the horizon, it's a possibility, and this is natural, and we start to grieve. And with dementia, there's all this ambiguous kind of loss because there's a lack of validation from the outside world, especially during the early stages of dementia, because the person living with dementia to somebody who's not living with them seems just a bit forgetful, but most of the time they're quite all right.
Yeah.
And this can cause, caregivers to be trapped between, okay, I'm experiencing this at home, but nobody sees it as well, and they start questioning the validity of their own loss, and this is some of the challenges that they face.
Yeah. What do you say to family members or, caregivers of dementia patients who are tuned in right now, who are getting a little impatient, with their family member who has dementia and who's constantly trying to correct them? Is that the right thing to do?
So if let's say your family member, they insist that they have eaten their lunch, because that's something that comes up quite a bit, that the person living with dementia forgets that they have eaten, or they feel like, no, you didn't feed me. What I would advise for something like that is, if you continue to correct them, you probably just agitate them, because in their reality, this is their reality, and it's as real as it is yours. So what we usually say is, give it some time, walk away, come back maybe half an hour later, and then you try again. Instead of, starting an argument, because it's an argument that you are not going to win.
Right.
Right.
Walk away and come back again.
Do those arguments happen a lot between dementia sufferers and their caregivers?
Yes.
Is it a daily part of life?
Well, it depends family to family, but miscommunication is always there. Because like I said, the person with dementia has their own reality, and as do we, and their reality is also valid. And, to tell somebody else that, right now what you're seeing, what you're feeling is wrong, it can be very shocking to any person, yet alone someone living with dementia. So yes, communication and arguments can be a daily occurrence.
Bridget, how can we as non-caregivers, or members of the public, help other caregivers?
So it is to definitely practice patience and understanding. If you know a caregiver, because everyone is going through something. And if let's say a caregiver is telling you or, expressing to you their frustration, chances are they're not looking for you to give them advice, but to just provide a listening ear. And if you are ever unsure of which to provide, just provide the listening ear first. If they want you to give them advice, they'll probably ask you at the end of it.
Yeah.
Right. And one last question. What are some resources out there for caregivers of persons with dementia?
Okay, so I have two for you. First is the Dementia Singapore helpline. That's Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. at 6377-0700. And the last one is the Dementia Hub. It's an online portal for all resources concerning dementia, and you can find it at dementiahub.sg.
All right. Okay, we are speaking to Bridget Goh from Dementia Singapore. She is a psychologist there. We'll continue to talk to Bridget live on The Big Show TV. In the meantime, here's Smokey Robinson being with you on 1FM 91.3.
I do like what you've done with the Dementia Hub, because it's really something for everyone. You know, whether you're a company or a person living with dementia or a person living with someone with dementia, there's something for everybody. So that's really good. Is there any other key advice or sort of personal antidotes that you can share with us?
I guess, despite, the person living with dementia, there's still so many things that they can still do and they're capable of. Just like how you met Alison, we just need to provide and afford them the opportunity, the platform to do so. Of course, maybe providing these opportunities are going to be more difficult than providing someone who is neurotypical or able-bodied, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't try. And I guess for caregivers, we cannot stress enough that asking for help, seeking help is not a weakness. And for those people and those naysayers who say, no, you should do it all on your own, then I say you do not understand the situation that caregivers are in. Everybody is worthy of support, and I hope that they get it when they need it.
Right. Bridget, since we started doing work with Dementia Singapore here, I've been going on the net and trying to find out as much as I can about it. And you know how internet algorithms work. I am now flooded with
dementia news.
So-called dementia news. I'm glad you have the hub, because that's really where they should go. They should be going. But this stuff that you get flooded with sometimes, is it really worth reading? Should we bother with it, or should we just go to the hub?
Well, there's a lot of information out there, definitely, with anything real and not so real. Aside from the hub, there are Alzheimer's disease associations in almost every other country. Those are accredited resources. So outside of the hub, these are resources that you can use. But I would say take everything with a pinch of salt, especially those that say, okay, eat this and it will, cure dementia, because it's important to know what's fact and what is myth. And of course, caregivers and anybody in a situation where there is a disease there's no cure as of right now, you want hope.
Yeah.
So it's very easy to, buy into something that it is not based in fact or scientific evidence at this point of time.
Yeah. But this is exactly what we did yesterday, guys. The whole monosodium glutamate, the research in China.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're saying that monosodium glutamate in China helps to repair damaged brain cells.
And helps with dementia, might help with dementia as well.
May help with dementia treatment. And I'm going, yeah, you cure one thing, kill them the other way. To me, it's strange, which is why I asked that question about what do you believe and where can you go? Because I think a lot of this information can be very dangerous, because people who are desperate will latch on and start to practice things that they shouldn't. Do you see that happening?
Usually, because when we go in, we do a lot of education about dementia. So we start to clear up what's myth, what's fact. And also the doctors, when they are newly diagnosed, they explain, and one of the first things they say that dementia is a terminal illness. There's no cure for it, but there are things that we can do to slow down the deterioration, which is mainly what the post-diagnostic support team does. We go in and we look at non-medical intervention. So we're looking at things that would, in general, would make anybody, have a healthy lifestyle, which is looking at, their physical exercise. They don't have to be running. Even doing housework, moving around the house, that's good enough exercise. And we look at, are they stimulating their brain? So they don't have to be doing, primary 6 math PSLE questions, but it might be different things like maybe mental sums, maybe it's crosswords, doing something that they like, that aside from maybe just watching TV, because watching TV is good, but it's also a very passive thing.
Yeah.
So for those who like watching TV, we say, okay, ask your loved one questions about what they're watching, engage them, so it becomes a more active kind of interaction. And the last one, which is the most important, is the social interaction for persons living with dementia, which has become a bit difficult right now with COVID, but it's really important to have social interaction, because you use your brain so much when you're interacting with people, because you're looking at what their nonverbal, cues that they're giving you, what they're saying to you, and then what do you say after. So all of this is things that we look at when we go in to look at how do we, slow down the deterioration of of dementia.
Right. So things like playing mahjong and all that. It's like
Yes.
a good thing, right?
Yes, they are really good things. And some of the dementia daycare centers, they have mahjong tables, and you see all the people with dementia, they're so happy to be playing mahjong because at home they say there's not enough kakis.
That's true.
I wish I knew how to play mahjong.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't know if anybody who can teach me.
My
mom.
mother.
Yeah, my mom used to play mahjong. In fact, I think we should all encourage our moms or dads to play whatever jinrami or mahjong and all, because it's good for their minds.
And
good
it's
for
a
the
group
brain.
game, so
Engages
it's
them,
good. Yeah.
Yeah. What else is good, Bridget? I mean, apart from these games, if someone is into gaming, like computer games, is that good as well?
Video games.
Yeah, because it does a lot of, hand-eye coordination.
Yeah.
That's a great way. I have a caregiver who bought who makes their mom play Mario Karts.
Oh, so cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
on the Nintendo Switch. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
You can bring
cute.
it anywhere. It's a great gift.
Nice.
So technically, there is a lot that we can do for them. I think basically, if I gather what you're saying is, you just need to be creative to keep them engaged.
Yeah, and the most important is to find out what do they like, because if they like it, most likely they are going to keep at it. So for some elderly, it's gardening. And so, that's something that keeps them occupied,
Yeah.
tending to their plants and things like that. For some, it's cooking. But a lot of times, caregivers are afraid to let, their loved ones cook, because what if they forget to switch off the stove?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Or with knives and all that as well, it can be a bit dangerous, right?
Yeah, so it depends. So if, let's say, they love cooking has always been a way that they show love to
Right.
people. Then it's about what accommodations can we make such that this person is able to cook and cook independently, maybe with some supervision for a long time. Because you can imagine you love something and someone says, no, sorry, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, to take that away. Yeah.
Right.
I guess the best way with cooking, actually, to keep them engaged and to make sure everything is safe, is to put them in a situation where they are teaching you.
Yes.
Correct? Let
Yeah,
them
that's good
become
as well.
the teacher.
Yeah.
I'm sure that would
That's a
be
good
a good
idea.
idea.
Yeah.
I just want to remind everyone once again that you can make a donation, okay? Because Dementia Singapore, I mean, they need as much help as they can get, because they've got so many specialists there and all that. And of course, everything takes money. So, if you can make a donation, please do. Giving.sg or onefm.sg/dementia. One with dementia. All right. No matter how much you donate, it's going to go a long way. So, please help. And suddenly I have this idea, right? I'm like, maybe together with Dementia Singapore, we should have, an amusement center for dementia patients. Like an amusement center where we go and play games and stuff like that.
Oh,
Where
but
they can
this is
throw things through
especially-
hoops
Yeah.
and things. Yeah.
Like an
yeah.
arcade.
Yeah, this is
Like an
an
arcade.
arcade, especially
I like that.
for dementia patients.
Because I also can play
It'll
games.
work, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of elderly grew up playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe right now they can't be playing basketball and things like that, but maybe some activity that's reminiscent of that could work.
Okay,
Yeah,
you bring up your idea on air, okay? With us, stand by.
I'll talk to a few people, including the CEO of Dementia Singapore,
Ooh, okay.
Jason.
FD traffic.
Okay.
1FM 91.3 traffic.
Alrighty, usual delays across the expressways, that much we do know. The AYE towards Tuas, we have an accident before Pioneer Road exit. Congestion is to Jurong Port Road. Avoid lanes 1 and 2. That's about it for now. Please stay within the speed limit. Make sure you have everyone in your car buckled up. Drive safely today.
Good morning, Singapore. Welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We've been chatting with Bridget. Bridget is from Dementia Singapore. She's a psychologist there. We've been having a great time chatting on The Big Show TV as well, bouncing ideas off each other. And I just reminded everyone to make a donation to Dementia Singapore, because they have all these specialists there and facilities and all that. And it takes money to maintain these facilities. So if you can, please donate. 1fm.sg/dementia, or you can go straight to giving.sg and give as much as you want or as little as you want. Your donation will go a long, long way. Thank you.
Yeah, we've had about 120 donors so far. 120 generous individuals that have donated money, and there's still 125 days remaining for this campaign. So get on our website onefm.sg/dementia and get your donations in as well.
I think that's really, really important. As every small donation helps, and as Glenn said, it goes a long, long way to helping people who really, really do a great job.
Bridget, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
No, thank you for having me.
And maybe one of these days we can all catch up and talk a little bit more, bounce more ideas off each other.
In person.
Thank you, and continue to do the great work that you do, Bridget. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You
Thanks,
too.
Bridget.
Thanks, Bridget.
All right, up next we've got Jennifer Lopez waiting for tonight while we wait for Fandi Ahmad. He's our next guest on The Big Show and The Big Show TV.
Waiting for tonight.
Thanks, Bridget.
Thank you so
Bridget.
much.
Thanks.
You want to say hi to Fandi?
Hi, Fandi. I'm Bridget.
You're
Fandi,
muted.
Bridget.
You're muted, Fandi.
You're muted.
He's holding the
Okay,
laptop. He's holding
you're
the laptop
mute.
now.
muted. You're muted.
You're muted.
Throw the laptop on the floor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Fandi, meet Bridget. Bridget, Fandi.
Hi, Bridget.
Hi, Fandi.
Angelique, and the famous Flying Dutchman, Stretcher Netherlands.
What? I tell you, you speak the language. You speak the language. I don't.
I thought you're from Holland, so I was thinking that.
Doesn't
Sean,
quite
how are
work
you,
that
Sean?
way.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, man.
Good to see you, man. Bridget, don't you agree? Fandi never looks old. Huh? He's like,
No, he never ages.
that's right, never. He's
Never look old, my bones all cracking. Yeah, too many operations. You all
Oh,
look
dear.
great, huh?
Thank you.
Oh, Adrian, say hi. You know,
Hi,
Adrian,
Adrian. I
yeah,
saw
Adrian,
Adrian
Adrian,
there.
come on.
Yeah.
Bridget, are we taking up your time? I'm so sorry.
No worries. I'm actually leaving for a home visit already.
Okay.
So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Bridget.
Bye.
Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, ask Adrian to come on for a while. Where's
Hey,
he?
Adrian, come.
Haven't
Sit
seen
here.
him in a while.
Yeah, come here, Adrian. Sit down.
So cute.
My man,
Hey,
Adrian O.
Can see that?
Good morning. How are you, Adrian?
He can't hear
Oh,
you
you
because
can't
he's
hear,
on
you can't
headphones.
So
How are
Fandi
you? How
must
are you? Okay.
translate.
There you go.
Adrian.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Now we can hear you.
There, this another one, no?
Yes.
Never looks old, no? This fella also. Same.
Yeah.
The both of them. Never grow old.
All of you
Yes,
look the
same to you, man.
Oh, my goodness.
FD, you're still the same. Only white hair now. But I like that gray hair. I hope I can have it maybe the next 5 years.
Oh. Don't lah, you.
What you want to have?
Still
But
so young. What do you
he
want?
wants to be a
gray
silver
hair for?
fox.
Okay,
lah.
Silver
want to be like Richard Gere. Yeah. How you all been doing, man? I've been listening to your, station every day morning.
Oh,
Because
thank
every
you.
morning, I send my kids, right, my son to school.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
listen lah, just have a laugh there.
So
But he
cute.
make me laugh every day lah, this guy.
You guys have been friends for how many decades now?
Allah, yeah.
26 years.
Wow.
26
years.
years,
Wow.
man.
Yeah.
That's
That
a long,
is
long time.
That's how.
Incredible.
That's how old you are, Adrian. 26.
He always says he's only 45.
Of course he is. He is.
I'm the same. I think I'm the same as Glenn. We're the same age.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
we are,
okay.
right?
Okay.
1970, right?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
See lah, now I'm feeling old now.
You're
Look at him, look at me.
40 only, right?
So, Fandi,
Yeah.
long time no see. What have you been up to?
Yeah,
One
this
minute, I'm going
pandemic
on
is not easy for everyone. I've been working from home alternately every week. Maybe I go in on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, but mostly on Zoom, what to do. And then once in a while, like FIFA dates, there's 5 FIFA days. It's March, June, September, October, November. Then I help the young lions, the under 22. Replace the coaches who will be attending with the under 22. Like now, they're having the what cup? The AFC Cup.
boss,
Yeah,
this one all
right.
very good.
So I miss coaching.
We asked
We'll
you
do this on the
air.
radio.
We're going to go
Yeah.
on the radio
All right.
now. Okay,
Yeah, you
we'll
can
ask you
make
the
it.
same question.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
All right.
Stand
Thank
by, live on air.
So
Jennifer Lopez waiting for tonight right here on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our second guest for this morning is someone we hold very dear to our hearts. We love this guy. You know, when we talk about football here in Singapore, which name pops up first?
Fandi Ahmad.
Fandi Ahmad. We have Fandi on the show this morning. Good morning, Fandi.
Yes. Thank you. How are you? Good morning to you guys. Long time no see.
Long
Long time no hear, but only listen to you in the car.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice. Thank you very much for listening to us. You like the big show?
Obviously, yes. Of course, I've been following you guys for for many years.
Right, but before
You know lah, we are we so call ourselves elderly.
Who is elderly?
me, and maybe FD.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you two only. That's it.
not a single white hair on Fundi's head.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot
All on
actually,
his
but I always trim it, so don't see much.
Okay. Well, still looking pretty much the same, Fandi. What have you been up to?
Seriously, been working a lot at home. Zoom every week, and alternately I go to office. You know, on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Once in a while, I help the young lions boys on FIFA dates. You know, so I'm very itching. You know, want to go back to full-time coaching because now mostly meetings and Zoom meetings, and also I help some school who requested sometimes like for me to attend their Zoom and give talks to the students, and especially before the exam and after the exam. So just help here and there. And also this year is a great year for us because we actually have this authorized dealership from Komoko.
Okay.
So we established, co-founder. I'm one of the co-founder for the Ulsan Motor Trend, selling Hyundai cars with my SAF Warriors players like Peter and also Gavin. We are at 8 Boon Lay Way, Trade Hub 21. So please check us out. That's the latest, you know. And
Wow. Okay.
That's
other than
nice.
that, yeah.
I mean, Hyundai, they make very, very good cars, you know. I mean, and Komoko has been the official distributor for many, many years of Hyundai cars. So you guys specialize just in Hyundai, is it?
Yeah, just Hyundai, yeah.
And it's all brand new cars.
Oh, yes, brand new cars. No, first hand ones, yeah.
Congratulations.
Nice.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Good job.
What a switch in careers.
Thank you.
Yeah, if anything, I just want to go and visit you, man. We can have coffee,
Right?
Yeah,
you know, just to have a look at this place. Where is it again? You're saying Trade Hub?
21.
Trade Hub 21, number 8, Boon Lay Way.
Trade Hub
Lay.
21.
No wonder I've
Boon
never
Lay.
been to Boon Lay.
Yes,
Glenn
sir.
has not been to many places too far away from his
Yeah.
own home. Yeah.
So I put on
Trade
I'm
Hub,
good. I'm
Trade
in
Hub
Chua
21.
Chu Kang, so Boon Lay is really close.
Choa Chu Kang. Yes, we are taking the west side.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all just go down and say hi to Fandi lah and check out, you know, the place.
Please, it's a nice place. You must come and you can have your talk show there. Very nice.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, that'll be fun.
Yeah,
You can broadcast from there, live from Boon Lay.
That's an idea.
In the backseat of a car.
Yeah, FD can take a car. I can take a car. Angel can take a car. I don't know about Sean because he's a bit reckless. Okay, but okay, he can take a car, so then we can race around the area. No,
There you go.
Let's drive.
Well, maybe when you are doing your show, I can drive you around.
Wow,
Like
driven
James
by
Corden.
Fandi Ahmad, man. There you go.
This would work because if Fandi is driving, Sean is the producer of the show, can
Yes.
sit in the front seat next to Fandi.
All
Then
right.
Angel and Glenn will sit comfortably in the back seat. I can go in the boot.
Yes, we were planning on that.
we have a 7-seater.
There you go.
The new Santa Fe. You can come.
Oh,
Okay.
you know, I always wanted to own a Santa Fe before. Really,
yeah?
really.
Really?
If I like big cars, you see.
He does.
So you know, Santa Fe was quite big back in the day. Now I think it's bigger, Fandi.
Yes.
It's-
It's more powerful and it's hybrid now. Yeah.
Oh, it's hybrid. Oh, nice.
Okay.
Okay.
So we know Trade Hub 21. But what's the name of the place again?
Ulsan Motor Trend.
Ulsan Motor.
We took this name from a Korean football club
Oh, wow.
because the car is from Korea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think
Ulsan,
maybe we
nice.
should put a Fandi in front of the Ulsan. Fandi
Uh,
Ulsan.
it's okay because it's a Korean brand.
Okay.
My
Okay.
new brand, maybe later Singapore have something I don't know what Fandi car or something.
Why not? Hey, we are speaking to Fandi Ahmad right here on the show. You can watch him on the Big Show TV as well. You know, Fandi, I wish I had a Toto song, but I don't have a Toto song right
It's
now.
coming up later.
I hope Bon Jovi will do right now.
Oh, yeah.
All right,
No
this is for Fandi. All right, Bon Jovi, It's My Life on the Big Show, 1FM 91.3.
We have a Toto song for Fandi later.
All right.
And also,
Okay.
when Jeng Jeng comes in, he wants to do a special for Fandi. It's a surprise, so egg
Oh,
surprise.
nice.
All right, Fandi, we got
nice.
someone coming in to perform live later. So
For
he's
you.
a big fan as
Just
well.
for you.
He wants to
Just
do
for
a
you.
Toto
Thank you.
song. Yeah,
Just
for
egg
you.
surprise later when he comes on.
Pretend you don't know.
Okay, Fandi, let's go back to football a little bit. Okay, I've got a
Yeah.
few questions, and then
Okay,
Angel
all
has
right.
some fashion questions for you.
All right.
Okay, maybe not
What?
fashion questions. Okay. First and foremost, I want to ask you also, how's everybody at home? Family all okay?
All good now, all good. Except my son just had an operation, Ilhan, you know, the third boy, sorry, yeah.
You almost can't remember which
Yeah, too many. And all of them, the names start from I.
I.
Sometimes I call wrong names, so but this will come to me.
Okay, can you tell everybody based on seniority your children?
Okay, Irfan, Iksan, Ilhan, Iman, Irian. Okay, Angel, you try repeat.
Repeat.
oh my gosh.
I1,
It's,
I2, I3,
okay,
I
How
know
about-
there's an
how
Irfan, I know
about,
there's an Ilhan, I
how
know
about-
there's a Iksan, I know there's a Iman. I don't know one more.
How about FD from the top?
FD
to
from the top,
bottom?
you try. Come on.
Hey, I'm 65 years old. You think I can remember?
Okay. Ilhan,
There.
Wrong,
already.
The first one.
Iksan.
No.
Irfan.
Yes,
Irfan
Irfan.
is
I
the
knew
first
that
one.
lah. I was just playing.
And then
Yeah.
Iksan.
Iksan.
And then Ilhan, the one who just went for surgery.
No. Iman.
Iman.
Hey, Iman is
The
number
pop
4, right?
star.
No, Iman number 3.
Oh, Iman number 3. Okay. I think just now you said Iman number 4. We can go back and replay this. Yeah.
Yeah, actually,
You
it's
also
true.
forgot.
I think you said Iman number 4.
At least you never called
Really,
iPhone 1,
Yeah.
iPhone 2, iPhone 3, iPhone 4.
My bad, maybe.
Wendy is watching right now and laughing now at you.
She's shaking her head.
So funny. Okay. Let me just ask you some football questions right now, and then we'll go back to Iman because I think Angel has a few questions regarding Iman, whom everyone is so proud of.
Yes.
And I'm sure you are the proudest daddy. But talking about football, because you brought up football just now, and that's your passion. Looking at the FAS and the new generation of Singapore footballers, what do you wish you had that they have today?
Obviously, you know, it's more scientific. On those days, we train on our own sometimes, and whatever the coaches taught us to do, we just follow. And it's very rigid, very strict, but it helps us to become stronger mentally. We don't call it like torture. It's a drill that we must perfect our technical skill. And also the passion that they drive into us is so great that we always want to play for the team. We always give our best. And in terms of scientific ways, is obviously now we have so many like physios, the fitness coaches. In a group last time, you have three coaches, maybe goalkeeper, assistant coach, and coach. Now we have 10, 11, 12. It's all science and technology. For me, now the current sports and especially like football is a generation of sports science, more scientific, a lot of stats, a lot of this and that. And even when they're playing, they use a GPS.
Yeah.
It's different, but I think it's for the betterment of the game.
Yeah.
But sometimes you need a bit of sense still in the game.
Yeah.
And you need
Yeah.
a lot of creativity. Sometimes we are too structured, and when we play, we are not structured. The coach say you play on the right back, but the coach say you attack and you defend. But we don't sit there as a defender.
Right.
But we try to improvise our game. So that's where the coaches never really taught us how to play. They say this position. They say you play, enjoy the game. When you win the ball, you attack. When you lose the ball, you defend. That's the word that they say
Yeah.
always.
And
so that means you are free.
Yeah. And I think that's a key, what you said just now, enjoy. I feel like because now it's so technical, and
structured.
Yeah, it's so structured, it's not so fun anymore.
Yes, that's true. Because that's why when you play without imagination, there's no creativity. Because I believe in that. Because I wasn't a striker. I always play as a midfielder, defensive midfielder, and then attacking midfielder. And then suddenly they changed me. They asked me to play striker because we don't have any more strikers. The strikers all retire in the 70s, 80s, So I'm glad I had a chance to play with those guys, all good players.
You are our Cristiano Ronaldo, lah. That's exactly what Fandi is.
You see, Cristiano Ronaldo look like my son.
Hey, that's true, no, actually.
A bit like Irfan.
Irfan, looks like Irfan, actually.
He called himself Cristiano. He wanted to be a striker. He was a striker, and now he's a defender. You see? When I was a midfielder, became a striker.
I mean, but seriously, Fandi, you and Wendy made some pretty good-looking children.
Yeah, boy.
Wow, they're all like model material.
Yeah, they're all really good looking.
They're all great looking.
Roja.
The Rojak came out correctly, luckily.
Luckily,
So, Fandi, what do you think we need to do to get Singaporeans in general more interested in local football again? Because, I mean, let's face it, okay? I'm not going to mince my words. During your time, we could pack out the National Stadium, no problem. Sure. But now, National Stadium will only be packed out during National Day. I think.
Yeah.
Now on Zoom also, nobody.
You know what I mean?
So, obviously, the quality has, we have to improve the quality and the players. And I think we need more players to be playing overseas, and at young age, if they are really good, we should send them overseas, give them opportunity, give them a pathway, like I did to my son. Because when they were young, they said they want to be a professional player. So I try to show them the pathway, but in the end, it's for them to decide. And because in our days, 70s, 80s, that's not so many coverage of European football, especially like, now it was just Star Soccer and all, last time, every weekend. But now we have German soccer, Italian soccer, everything, Dutch soccer, everything. And apparently EPL is the biggest one because it's all over the world. They love this league, and they are top. And then because of the names, and previously also before in England wasn't that famous until they start bringing all these South American players or European players playing in England. Same. So I think they established a very good, and the marketing is great, and they have good response. But now the Singaporean love to watch them, and for me, I'm a bit sad because many years ago, when we played, the national team played, I think Argentina, and the national stadium was not red, it was blue. It was Argentinian. So it was sad. But now, how do we improve it? I think we going to start on the grassroots, young, and then the most important thing, what we have to do is, I think we must have a professional league. Professional, and I think they must privatize like what Lion City Sailors is doing.
Okay.
Paying good money and the quality, and then they have followers. Every game they play, I think, at least at the moment with COVID, they have 7,000 to 1,000 people watching them. That is good. But how many of investor or people would come and help? And I hope that the government will help for all the other teams as well. But the team also must work to get sponsors, not only hoping for somebody to donate to them,
They must go out there.
Yes, they must go out there and grassroots. I can't remember in the 70s, 80s, I remember FAS was about 6-7 personnel working full time.
Stand by.
Hang on, 1 second.
We're going to go back on air again.
Yeah. Oh, before we go back on air, Fandi, our producer, Shalini, her mom wants to say hi to you.
Oh,
she's a big fan of you and the old soccer scene.
What's your mom's name? Kala. Okay.
Okay, wait.
Here we go. Rihanna with Umbrella right here on The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for this morning is the one and only Fandi Ahmad. Once again, welcome to the show, Fandi.
Thank you very much.
We're having such a good time, talking about football on The Big Show TV. early on. I was slamming the FAS. No, I'm kidding.
Steady now, brother.
I also have friends at the FAS, okay?
Okay, that's good.
I was just joking. Really. I know everyone is doing their very best. And for the benefit of people who are just listening to us on the radio, what was your solution early on when I was talking about the fact that, Singaporeans are not so interested in local football as much as they were when you were playing, with your team at that time. So what can we do to improve that situation and get people to be interested in local football again, Fandi?
I think a lot of parents, they want their kids to play, but they want to see the pathway. So we need to open up a pathway for these players as young as a grassroots level where they send to academy or coaching clinic where they attended. So hopefully they have the interest. And then when they see there's a path, I think all the parents will support, because if they know the interest, the kids' interest in football can go to be a professional player, maybe in Singapore and also in the region, because like Indonesia, Malaysia, Thailand allowed 7 foreign players, and they have a quota for Thailand have 3 quotas for ASEAN players, 1 Asia and 3 open or European or South American, but all over the region. So there is opportunity for them to become professional, to play and get paid. When you get paid, you got to work harder. Like us, last time we're not paid, but when we have a chance to become professional, we really work at it because we know it's paid well. So it shows that we have to offer them some good pathway for them to become professional. Rather than they train, we groom them until 16, 17, they go NS, they retire.
Yeah.
So the problem now is also, for me, I've been telling this more than 10 years ago, we are losing too many Chinese players. Chinese players are clever. They, I think, because educationally they are very good, and then they can think better. So you must have some of them who are thinkers. But the Malays, maybe the Indians are all more skillful. This because in our era, we are so many Indian, Malays, and in Chinese. And now, very hard to get other races.
It was more balanced before, right?
Yes.
I mean, you had your Kwa Kim Song earlier on, Lim Tang Boon, and then later on, Ao Yong Pak Kwan,
Stephen, Tong
Stephen,
Hai, Ian Horn, all this, So, I mean, we have to balance, but the pathway must be there. We must create a pathway for them to become professional. At the same time, not, forgetting about their studies. Studies is important, but if they can play and serve the country and get well paid, playing professionally, why not?
I mean,
it's not a very long career. It's very short, but if you're lucky, you stay longer.
I mean, now we have Gabriel and all that, so I'm
He's
so
a lone
happy.
survivor at the moment.
Lone survivor.
Gabriel Kwak.
He's doing very well, and I've seen he plays, I think 1 season or 2 seasons, I can't remember, in Thailand. And when he came back, he has matured.
Yeah.
Actually, he has matured. But we need to see him more in the international game, so hopefully he can help and spur the others.
He's improved so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Okay, so Fandi, you've got 5 children, 4 boys and 1 girl. All 4 boys are on the path to football. And obviously your 1 girl, Iman, she started modeling when she was 14, takes off after Wendy for sure. But she just started her singing career. How did you feel about that? I mean, I think you weren't really surprised when she started modeling, because mommy was a big model during her days as well. And still now, she still appears with Iman once in a bit. But when she decided to go down the singing career path, what were your thoughts?
Wow, that was a big surprise, huge surprise for the whole family, because I believe on 2019, the whole year, I think she's been locking the door. Never let us. So I said, what's happening? What's happening? I don't know. She wants to be alone. We didn't realize she was doing her work. She's a very hardworking girl. She likes to do on her own, on quiet. She also do some crafting and painting, all this in the room. And then I saw a lot of things. And then she said, I'm writing a song. For what? No, I try to, make songs so maybe I can try to be a singer. And then she and Adrian, I don't know how they match up with this universal music. So it was a big surprise, and I know that she is very ambitious. She is determined and very strong personality. She is hardworking, and she wants to achieve something. And I was shocked and surprised and very happy for her. And as well, she's already had a single, and I believe she's releasing a second single soon. I think it's tomorrow night or Friday. I can't remember. Until today, I don't know what the song is all about. Until today, for the next one, there's a secret that she kept. I don't know how she can keep it all the time to the family. But I mean, I'm very happy. On top of whatever she's doing, she enjoyed the work. People who work with her love her very much because she's very professional, on time, never late, always willing to do extra. And what makes me proud about her, not only about career, but I think she has just graduated and she has a degree in psychology.
Oh, there you go. Wow. There you go.
Okay. She said she wanted to start maybe teaching or giving advice to kids in school, but I don't know whether she will have a chance or a time to do it. But I'm glad that she has something on to fall back. Yeah.
Yeah, there's academic achievement there, which is always good. Yeah.
Right. I like talking to psychologists.
Oh, there you go. We should have Iman on the show one day.
Maybe you should call her and talk to you.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Glenn needs someone to talk to. He does.
Yeah, I'm always looking for psychologists to talk to me.
He's always very troubled. So
Anyway, that's a great idea. We would love to talk to Iman. Can you?
For sure.
Can you arrange something, Fandi? I'll text you later. You see whether Iman says yes, and after she releases her song,
the single.
When the new single comes
that
out.
will be fantastic. That'll be fantastic.
There you go.
By the way, I'd just like to introduce you to Johan. This is Johan Lee, by the way, who will be performing a song for you in just a while.
Yeah, Johan. Yeah.
But
big fan.
Nice t-shirt there.
Fandi, everyone wants to know: are you a United fan or a Liverpool fan?
Actually, seriously, when I was young, when I was 6, 7, 8 years old, we don't have a TV, so we always look at the newspaper, and you look at the score. One day I look at the table of the English League, then I saw the name Liverpool. I fall in love. I fall in love until 1985. After that, I stopped. Because of the way they play, they have changed their style. I like to follow players. Actually, I'm more of players I follow who... In fact, I love basketball more than football. Watching.
Right, okay.
Yeah, because I love NBA. Many years I follow all these teams. But football, once in a while, I don't force myself to watch 11, 12, 3 a.m. No. If it's 7 o'clock, I watch. I don't really follow, but I like the English League because it's exciting. Yeah.
So who was the player that you followed?
John Toshak, very old.
Okay, I remember John
Toshak. Kevin Keegan, all that. Yeah.
Right.
At that era when they won the European Cup, I think this is Real Madrid or something.
Kevin Keegan was with FC Cologne, I remember. He was Cologne, Hamburg as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Hamburg. I think he won the European. I think so. He won I can't remember all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the coach was Ernest Happel. I was trained once by him.
Oh,
wow!
I think he was Ernest Happel from Austria, and they named the stadium under his name, Ernest Happel Stadium.
Right.
When I was in trial with FC Tirol that time, I think. I hope I'm not wrong.
Okay, I understand that Johan in just a while will be performing exclusively on the Big Show TV, playing a Toto song. I just want to check with you, Johan, which Toto song are you going to be playing?
Who told you?
I have to check because I've got a Toto song lined up right now on the radio.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so I don't want it to clash.
I'll be singing Africa.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Very
nice.
good, because I'm also playing Africa on the
very
radio. For the benefit of those people who are just listening to us on the radio and can't watch you. So anyway, Fandi, this is, I think, your favorite Toto song, Africa?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
Africa and Mushanga.
Mushanga.
That's right. We played that for you once on the show.
With no shoes.
Okay, I think Johan can perform that song on the Big Show TV.
Johan, go and learn it now.
But on the radio, we are playing Toto's Africa for the one and only Fandi Ahmad. All right.
Okay.
Mushanga.
Oh, the pressure.
He prepared.
Cannot.
He prepared
Africa.
Glenn, can you hear me?
Again?
Yes.
When will this one got repeat or just go?
No, you can
It's on
just
Facebook. You can always watch it again.
Oh, okay, because
The whole video is on
They
Facebook.
asked me, some of them they're working, so they
You can
It's,
send them
the whole thing will be on Facebook. It is on
Ah,
Facebook now.
Yeah,
It will stay
we're
there.
live.
Yeah.
We're still live.
Everything. Yes, we are still live.
We're still
on the
live,
radio.
yeah.
But you know what? I don't think we finished asking questions yet.
Oh,
No.
We
No,
got
we
one more
haven't.
question. Johan, do you have a
Okay.
question for Fandi? If not, I'm going to go with one last question.
After you.
He's waiting to sing only. Okay, so this is a very, very important question. My most important question. Now, you've been a top player and you are a coach, Fandi. What do you think Manchester United should do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
okay. Frankly, this is a bit out because these are professional. But anyway, as a coach and a football player, I think if the organization gave him 3 years, I think it's a bit long. Not really long, but it's long for a team like Manchester to achieve a goal. Of course, to win everything if they can. It's not easy because football is about result. Yeah. And either you stay or you go. It depends on the board. He has been given a huge funds, to all the players, and he wanted everybody. And you got Ronaldo, best or maybe one of the best. I'm not sure in the world, and we know and Ronaldo commands a big respect. I think as a coach, what I've heard from our former manager, Alex Ferguson. He said, for me, I agree because I think he's too nice to the players. He needs to be tougher. He's a good guy. He can coach, but he needs to be tougher making in decision because sometimes, of course, they are superstars, but sometimes the superstars must respect the coach.
Yes.
For me, that is the most important. Then when you don't get that respect, and sometimes when you have a big superstar, they will demand, I want this player, I want this player. I know when they come, they want to bring their players, all this. So this is the same everywhere in any sport as well. But it's important that he has a firm control of this team. And importantly, the players must perform to the best of their ability, and his expectation are how he strategized the team. And for me, the manager always pay the price because if he doesn't perform, and I think he has given a lot of chances, But the best part about Ole is he's quite lucky. After 1-2 bad games, after that he kept winning again. After that, he's losing again. So the board is up and down, So they're not sure. But then now, recently, what I heard, I saw also on the news that Ronaldo is telling him off something, which is, I think, is not a good sign. But the most important thing is what they want to do. If they want to win, do you think there is better coaches around the world to replace him? I think only the board can do. I can't sack him. I'm nobody. We can't sack him. Not even the fans. But the most important thing, the team. What the team needs.
Yeah.
If the team needs a new leader who is firm, you see a lot of other coaches like Liverpool. What is it? Klopp and the other guy also.
Tuchel.
And, yes, these
and
people,
Guardiola.
German, they are very strong mentality, and when the time to really squeeze this player, they will tell them off, then because they should show that they are in control. But I believe he's not in control.
Yeah, he's not.
Fully. He's not in control fully.
Yeah.
Pardon me if I'm wrong, but this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I think if they really want to do something, it's time for a change.
Yes, I think so too.
It's time for a change
Yeah,
because it will ease a burden for him.
Yep.
Because it cannot goes on 1 week, 2 weeks, up and down, because they spend so much money. It's about the shareholders, the investors, it's about the fans, not about me alone as a coach.
Correct.
It's time to go. I say, okay, I think I didn't do a good job, so it's time to go. I'm not sure, but
we are tired. Ollie out! Ollie out! Right, Johan is all right. Ollie out.
You know what? Fandi can replace Ole.
I think so.
Better, right?
There you
Yes.
Then
go.
I go there, become ole ole. Ole.
All right. Okay, thanks, man, Fandi, for your opinion. I hope we lose to
Yeah.
Spurs over the weekend so that,
Hey,
he will get
don't
fired.
lie.
Anyway. Okay.
And you won't be fired, I think.
I think if he carries on, if he keeps on losing, he will be fired. They are buying some time, but, ultimately, I think he's on borrowed time. Okay, Johan, please pay your tribute to Fandi Ahmad.
I'll do a short one. Hey, remember this song? Loving every moment. Let you know that you're alive. Loving every moment. Whose song is that?
Backstreet Boys.
No, it's not.
InSync.
Guess some more.
Fandi Ahmad.
Yes.
Oh, really?
From the album Anugrah.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
Look
Thank
at
you,
that.
John.
I bet a lot of people didn't know that, right? Fandi released his album. Which year was that, Anugrah?
96.
96.
96. Wow.
Wow, long time, man.
Long time.
Long time.
We played that
Before-
on Perfect
When
10.
are we leaving now? We're not leaving now. I got one question for our good friend Flying Dutchman.
What?
Are you really a Dutch guy?
Yeah.
Seriously?
He's
Only,
pretending.
only between you and me, I'm actually Eurasian.
Oh, okay. Because when you say Dutchman, I say this one must be Dutch.
Actually Eurasian.
That's why
Because
he
the
tried to
also
speak
there,
to you.
But Dutch heritage.
Yeah,
yes.
Dutch
Okay.
heritage, the
Obviously,
Van
we have that
Kallenberg,
blood,
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
when we think about the Dutch and football, we think about complete football.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Johan.
Take one. Hear the drums echoing tonight.
She's only whispers some quiet conversation.
She's coming in 12:30 flights. The moonlight reflect stars that guides towards salvation. I stop and know that along the way, hoping to find some forgotten words of ancient memories. He turned to me as if to say, hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing but 100 men or more could ever do. I'll bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never had. Oh.
Bravo!
Thank you very much.
Well done, well
Thank you,
done.
Johan. Love you, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll go down to Boon Lay one of these days.
Yeah,
Alright,
there you
sure.
go.
Yeah, Johan's in the west. He's
No,
close by.
I'm
You're not.
I'm in Sengkang.
Oh, you're in Sengkang. Oh, why?
Before you go, give me a call. Huh?
Alright.
Anybody who wants to come, let me know. I'll be there.
Where is it again?
Trade Hub 21.
Trade Hub 21,
Okay,
9
alright.
Boon Lay Way. Oh,
9
8,
Boon Lay.
8 Boon Lay. Yeah, next to 9.
And the place is called the Ulsan
Motor Trend.
Ulsan Motor Trend.
Yes.
Ulsan Motor Trend. How do you spell Ulsan? U-L
S-A-N.
A-N. Okay,
Yes.
actually it's quite easy to remember. Ulsan Motor Trend at Trade Hub 21. Go look for Fandi Ahmad and go get a car.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
All right. Hey, thank you so much, Fandi. We'll catch up soon.
Hey,
and
thank you
please
so much.
remember to mention us to your talented daughter, okay?
Okay, sure. I
Yes.
will ask her. Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
meeting her later, yeah.
And
Okay,
give Wendy a big hug and a kiss from all of us.
Sure.
as well.
She's much better now. She's getting better. Alhamdulillah, yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
And,
Okay.
and please kiss Adrian's head as well for me.
Come on, Adrian.
Thanks, Fandi.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
Yeah.
bye.
Bye-bye,
Have a nice
bye-bye.
day. Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Bye, Adrian.
Bye, Adrian. Bye-bye.
See you, Adrian. Catch up
Bye.
soon. Bye-bye.